Greetings, comic book friends. It's time once again to celebrate New Comic Book Day, TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday. Last week, got off pretty easy with, I think, like 6 books. This one was a little bit more, and there were some that I pulled off the shelf. There were, 2, 3 actually that I pulled off the shelf, and I do not regret it. So it would have been, a moderate week, but bumped it up a little bit with those. So for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Even pulling 3 off the shelf, I'm still at that sweet spot of 10 books. So happy about that. And everything was fantastic. Yeah, I loved all of it. I don't think I would have a hard time picking the worst book. I'd have a hard time picking the best book, just because they were all just solid. So we'll jump into it with the last issue of Batman Incorporated, number 12. This was a lot of fun to see all the different Bat people from across the world and having Ghostmaker there lead him. Obviously, Ghostmaker is on the other side of Batman, and he wants to kill these villains so they're no longer a problem. But he had made a promise to not kill while on this team. And the Joker put them in a tough spot by basically requiring them to kill people in order to save a bunch of lives. It was a lot of fun, them struggling with that. Ghostmaker in particular. There were some other characters that wanted to kill. But it wrapped up nicely. There obviously were consequences to not killing people. As you know, which was the intent of the Joker. But yeah, I recommend it. I don't know where Batman Incorporated is going to go from now. The team does still exist after this, not like it is throughout the book. But I'd always be excited to pick up another Batman Incorporated. I always like when that title shows up. House of Slaughter, number 17. So this is following a young kid who is in, I forget what, white mask, black mask, I don't know, but he's a monster killer, and he's sent. And this kid, he doesn't have any arms, which is kind of an interesting twist. But he's sent into an orphanage, sort of, to find out what's going on there because there are monsters about, and they want to find out who is responsible for that. But it's a good Something's Killing the Children side story. Miles Morales Spider-Man. This was really good. Miles is realizing that there's something kind of going on, and he kind of needs some help, and he turns to Doc Samson for therapy, which I think is a great thing to put in books, because there's nothing wrong with going to therapy and getting some help. So this was that continues to be good. Ghost Rider number 18. So after the Weapons of Vengeance or whatever series, we're back to just regular Ghost Rider, and now we're starting to look into his sidekick. What's her name? Like Talia, something like that. And we're getting some background on her and where she comes from, which is already in this one issue has been very interesting. Daredevil 1. So this one I was really excited for, because I wasn't sure what to expect, given both the state that Daredevil was left off in, and that he went to hell to save his friends, but now he's back as a priest with memory loss, but things are kind of flooding in. And then also with the new writer, Saladin Ahmed, which I think I have another book by them here as well. Zdarsky's run was so great, it's really going to be hard to follow it up. But so far, this was great. I'm curious to see where it goes, how Matt is going to balance both Daredevil and now being a priest, and then Elektra's there, and he's starting to remember her. So there's a lot going on, a lot to handle. So is he going to have to give some of it up? Is he going to try to balance everything? Have to read to find out. Incredible Hulk number 4. So far, I am really digging this. Hulk going toe-to-toe against a bunch of monsters just makes sense, because he is, a monster. and that sort of strength level to have all these monsters coming after him is a lot of fun. The kid, what's her name, Charlie, something like that, that's following him is interesting. She's kind of on the lam, and really is kind of hoping that the Hulk's strength sort of carries over to her in some way, whether she wants to like hang around him long enough in the hopes of becoming a Hulk somehow. But sometimes Hulk is Banner and she's still there, so Banner say you need to get away, this is not good for you. Hulk is like, okay, you can tag along. But it's an interesting dynamic, and yeah, Man Thing in this one, super fun. So one that I picked off the shelf was Batman and Robin. I had to pick this up. I love Damian. He's the reason that I picked this book up. So as I saw from Batman last week, there's some stuff going down with Catwoman. And I think Damian is the only one that's kind of on Bruce's side in whatever's going on there. And it kind of comes up here that, that they're kind of on their own right now without the rest of the Bat family. But man, is it Williamson? Yeah, Williamson. I really enjoy Williamson's writing. This, when he's done, because he's done Robin and he's done John Kent. I think he writes these characters very, very well. And the back and forth and the dynamic between Batman and Damian is so good, and it's so fun. It's so touching. The father-son stuff that goes on. It's great. So I will definitely be picking that book up. Also picked up this one-shot, Werewolf by Night, just because, I don't know, it's getting to be spooky season, and I love Werewolf by Night. Just a nice little one-shot story with Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone. Also love Elsa Bloodstone. I don't see enough of her. I think she could probably carry her own book. It'd be nice to see. But whenever she shows up, I like to pick that up. And this was a good one-shot story. The last one that I picked up, also Saladin Ahmed, Spine Tingling Spider-Man number 0. So Spine Tingling Spider-Man, from what I understand, is going to be a series that is just basically a bunch of one-shots on a series where it's just kind of spooky Spider-Man stories. I don't know why there need to be an issue 0 if they're all going to be standalone issues, because this definitely is a standalone issue. Maybe it will bleed a little bit into others. I'm not sure, but why have a standalone 0? Why not just make this 1 and then 1? But it is a beefy book. It was $9.99. You can see it's not even in a Silver Age bag. It's kind of stretching it out, but it was a really good story. It's very interesting. Spidey's been in a lot of these horror type books recently. The Deadly Neighborhood, and there was another one. I can't think of off the top of my head. And this isn't always his best place, is in these sort of mystical, spooky places. But as for having one shots in limited series is a good place to put that. So it's not in the main series. So I'm kind of okay with it, because these side limited series, I mean, it's all frosting, and if it's fun, it's fun. And this was a lot of fun. So I'll be picking up the regular Spine Tingling Spider-Man as well. And lastly, Red Goblin number 8. If there's any evidence that we live in an alternate universe, it's this book. Because, how could it be that we have a book whose protagonist is Norman Osborn's grandson, where he has a symbiote suit. It's gotten all the way up to issue 8, and it's really good. How is this possible? The only way that this is possible is that in our original universe, for some reason, some person, some wacko who really liked Normie Osborn for some reason, got their hands on a monkey paw and wished this in existence, and also is the reason that COVID happened. I don't know. There's no reason that this book should exist and be as good as it is, but here we are. has to be some sort of weird alternate universe. It's I can't think of any other reason for it. But I love it. I love that book, and I absolutely shouldn't. It should not exist, and if it did exist, it should be garbage. But it's not. It's a lot of fun. So I highly suggest it. But that's it. It's whole 10 books. Again, they all were awesome. I would suggest any one of these to pick them up. And especially the lower number ones, where if you haven't been reading it, you can jump on. Hulk is only issue 4. I suggest that. Daredevil 1, obviously. I'm really excited for this Batman and Robin. Super great. So awesome week. I love to see these sorts of weeks where it's a nice solid stack and it's just all just really good. But that's it. Let me know your thoughts below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.